Dating app Bumble is opening a coffee and wine bar in the fall of 2019. According to Bloomberg, Bumble Brew will be located in New York City and will operate as a coffee shop during the day and by night turn into a wine bar. It will also reportedly serve date-friendly plates for customers.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Charley, maybe you can weigh in on this.
I'm assuming it's stuff like not spaghetti, right? Stuff that you don't embarrass yourself eating.
I don't care. I will eat whatever I want on a date.
And on the flip side, I will probably embarrass myself no matter what I'm eating.
Yeah, I don't care. You got to take me as I am. And if I can't eat a big steak or garlic or onions around you on the first date, then it's not going to work out.
It won't work.
Pretty good attitude, to be fair.
No, to me, I think it's genius because you think about these dating apps, and of course you run your own. But to me, it's kind of like if you go out, you kind of might not want to talk to someone because you assume, oh, if they want to talk to me, we would have matched on this dating app. So it kind of instills this, I don't need to meet anyone in real world kind of mentality. And now you've got a restaurant where that's kind of welcomed, where you could potentially meet someone.
I'm intrigued to see if it's singles who turn up or people who are on dates that turn up. I don't know whether, does it become like a singles bar? I mean, I think what Bumble's doing is really exciting. Like their kind of live stuff has been about 3 years in the running. So they've had for a long time, they've had pop-ups where you could meet and kind of organize your date with a kind of more of a view on like date safety and stuff and making sure that people felt comfortable where they were meeting someone. I'm intrigued to see how this actually works out. Like the thing about dating events, if you look at sort of singles events, is normally a lot more women turn up than men. It's really hard to get men at singles events. So I wonder if this is going to be, if it is a cafe for singles, will it be a cafe full of women? Which if you're lesbian is great, but I mean.
Yeah, and in New York, I mean, that's already kind of the trend anyways, but Kristin and I were very excited to have you on because we want to talk about Lumen, your dating app.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, for over 50 is kind of the differentiating factor for the dating app. I mean, talk to us about how it's different than all these other dating apps out there.
Yeah, well, so for a start, you have to be over 50, and we actually use AI to check your age. So, and we use the AI to check your identity too. So when you sign up, you have to take a selfie to verify who you are, which no other dating app does, because if we go back to our earlier conversations, it means we lose out on users. But for us, it's not just volume. We want to make sure that our users feel safe. So that from day one, that was a really important thing to us.
Well, I was wondering, what do people who are over 50 expect or want from the dating app that maybe perhaps people our age don't?
Well, it's interesting because most of the stuff they want is actually very similar. That's one of the reasons we launched. So we found, I mean, I've worked in the dating industry for a number of years. I used to run industry awards, and whenever anyone who knew I worked in dating, like they'd come to me and they'd say, my mum's just got divorced, which app or site would you recommend? I just didn't have an answer, and I knew lots of, particularly women in their 50s and 60s, having a really miserable time on other dating apps because they would try and date on the apps that people in their 20s and 30s were using, but they found that they were being ignored. I think the problem with all age group apps is that men try and date younger. So men who are in their 60s and 70s will be trying to date people in their 30s and 40s.
I don't know why you're looking at me, man. There's nothing to do with me.
But so what we wanted to do was kind of ring fence all the over 50s, because there are lots of men in their 50s and 60s who want to date women that age. Right. So by putting them all in the same place, but giving them a very similar experience to the experience they're getting on the other apps. Yeah. Because actually, and I think this is where other products that were for that age group have gone wrong. They've treated people who are like 50 like they're like a 70 or an 80-year-old, and that they only use desktop and they only type with one finger. And I think it's really patronising, and you see a lot of the imagery that gets used, and it's like old people in hammocks on beaches. And like,
I'm just waiting around for the dating app that's the flip-flop. I'm waiting for the dating app that will let me find a nice 60-year-old person the other way around. Maybe not 60 years, maybe that's the extreme. But I use the extreme to paint a picture.
It already
of
exists, and I can help you out.
There we go. We'll talk about that.
You guys can chat.
After the show wraps up.
You've given up on the 20-somethings?
Well, not really given up.